Hey guys, welcome back to another Titus Diorama and ToyReviews, and in today's video we are going to be looking at my vintage Biker Mice from Mars figures. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so before we go ahead and take a look at the figures in detail, I want to give you a little bit of background history on the cartoon these guys were based off of. Now, the original cartoon was aired from September 18th of 1993 right up until February 24th of 1996, which contained 3 seasons with 65 episodes. Now, I do want to point out here that Stan Lee was one of the producers of this show. The show followed 3 anthropomorphic mice from Mars who were motorcyclists. They were named Throttle, Moto, and Vinny. And they basically escaped from Mars, which they were in a war with a group of aliens called Plutonians. I may have said that wrong. And they moved to Earth and ended up defending Earth from those same aliens. Now, I do want to point out in 2006, they did do a reboot of the series of sorts with the same 3 main mice, and it lasted for 1 season with 20 episodes. Now, I do want to say, if you would like to know more information about the actual cartoon series and about the whole toy line and all, I would definitely recommend that you check out Toy Galaxy's The History of Biker Mice from Mars, starting in 1993, rebooted in 2006 video. I will have a link in the description below. So let's go ahead and talk about the vehicles that these guys came with. Now, first and foremost, I want to point out that when I got these original characters, I did not get Throttle's motorcycle at that time. When I got these guys for Christmas, they all came with their bikes packaged. Throttle, unfortunately, you could get without the bike. And it wasn't too about last year that I ended up picking up Throttle's bikes. Now, a couple things I want to point out is that the bikes for the mice all have vacuum chrome on them, meaning that some of the plastic pieces, mainly the handles here or the arm bars and the side pieces here, have either metallic chrome blue or silver on them. That is known to chip away, and as you can see on some of the handles here, it has actually done that on my actual vehicles. Now, I don't care too much about that. These vehicles and these figures were very well used and loved by me over the years. Now, Grease Pit's vehicle isn't actually a motorcycle. It's more like a motorized tricycle. And there is no vacuum chrome on that particular vehicle. Now, each of the vehicles do come with a play feature or gimmick. For instance, Throttles, the back exhausts do move up and down. They should come with missiles that slide into the actual exhausts, and then you press the buttons on each side to fire them off. Unfortunately, when I picked this up, it didn't come with the missiles. For Moto's bike, his gimmick is triggered by pressing on the gas cap up here, and it pulls up his actual gun, and when you roll it, it actually shows like it's firing off. For Vinny has two gimmicks actually. First and foremost, you can lift the bike up at different angles if you want to get kind of the different views you'd see in the cartoon. And if you press like the gas cap area on Vinny's machine, it should. Doesn't want to do it right now, but what it would do is it would pop it up, exposing the actual weapon in the front of the actual bike. Finally, we have Grease Pit's vehicle. And a couple cool things about this is that he does have a removable umbrella, which just clips on the back there. He does have storage for his weapon that he comes with, which is the oil drum that pegs into his back, and the little gun here. This gun could be filled up with water in order to shoot when you're playing with it. The other feature that it should do, but unfortunately no longer does, is when you roll the actual vehicle forward, there should be a mechanism that makes this flap up and down, exposing the kind of green ooze that there is in that back canister. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual figures themselves. Now, there were a lot of different figures in this particular line, very similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lineup that we had, where there were tons of different variants and all that kind of stuff. These basically are the only ones that I got in my collection, and Grease Pit being the only bad guy that I got. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the actual characters and the accessories that they come with, and then we'll talk about the articulation itself. So Throttle over here, which is basically the leader of the three mice, came with his helmet and an additional weapon. And he's kind of the more logical one of them all. Now, in the actual cartoon, he wears sunglasses because he has malfunctioning biotic eyes. And they did replicate that in the actual figure. Moto here, who is kind of the tall enforcer guy, but he's really empathetic and caring out of all of them, comes with his helmet. And an additional weapon here. And he lost his right arm in the cartoon, so he was given a robotic arm. Vinny is very much the younger brother of the other two, and has always volunteered to do kind of the wild and more dangerous missions in the show. And he, unfortunately, in the show, had some pretty bad damage to his face, so that's why he's got that right faceplate on there. For the action figure, he just comes with the helmet. He didn't come with any other accessories. Of course, we have then Grease Pit at the end there. And he is kind of like that stereotypical, clumsy, guy, second in command that just kind of ruins all the plans that his boss has. And of course, he comes with the drum with the gun on it accessory. Now, back in the 90s, there were basically really only two types of articulation that you would see with figures. And we do see both of those types here in this line. For instance, for the biker mice, you actually get 7 points of articulation, whereas the Grease Pit figure here, you only get 5. So when we take a look at the actual mice, the head can swivel back and forth. The shoulders do rotate on a ball joint. There is a bend at the elbow. There's a bend at the knee, and there's a ball joint at the hip. Whereas Grease Pit just has the ball joints at the shoulders and hips and the swivel at the head. The legs and arms are already preformed. Alright guys, so I really do hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know there was a little bit of a history lesson behind the figures and the cartoon series that these were based on, but I did want to share that with you. If you, again, would like to know more information, please check out Toy Galaxy's video, or you can also search on YouTube for the entire Biker Mice from Mars series. All 3 seasons plus the 2006 season should be on here. As always, guys, if you like the video, please make sure you click on the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please click the subscribe button. And while you're at it, click on that notification button so you can be notified whenever I release any new content on my channel. Also, check me out on both my Facebook and Instagram. The links will be in the description below. And as always, guys, stay nerdy.